We welcome you back here to Longhorn Weekly, live from Pluckers, the West Campus location. Each week, one thing that Coach Strong likes to have on the program is a chance for Longhorn fans to visit or hear from a coach of another sport on campus. So how about a round of applause for Brad Herbster, who helps out and takes care of things in the cross-country world. Thanks to you. Thank you for dropping by tonight. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you letting me here.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about your Harriers. I was told to say that, you know, because that's a word for a distance runner there, and I was like, really? It's a Harrier? I knew it as a jet, but that is a term for a distance or cross-country runner, right?
Old school term right there, the Harriers. So
yeah.
It works out pretty well.
Yeah, I know you've got one group that might be a little young and another group that could be pretty doggone good this year.
Yeah, we do. On the men's side, we will have probably about 4 freshmen in that top 7, but they'll contribute in a big way. And I think we've got, out of the 20 men we have on that roster, 16 or 17 of them are sophomore and freshmen. So,
wow.
But they'll be pretty good.
Well, what's the thing that you've noticed about freshmen and sophomores that they pick up pretty quickly in terms of what you need them to do and what they learn from juniors and seniors, upperclassmen?
Great question. On the women's side, I mean, when we're recruiting, we really have to look at – it's not that big of a deal. On the women's side, they're going from 5K in high school to 6K. On the men's side, though, you're going 5K to 10K, so you're doubling the distance, going from 3 miles of racing in high school to 6.2 miles. So it makes it a little more competitive, but we're really looking for student athletes who, one, understand what Texas is about, and 2, make sure that they're adapting well to that distance. You can tell at the high school level, hey, they can run. So thoroughbred type athletes.
You know, it's interesting. I hear in football they talk about speed of the game is the biggest adjustment that incoming freshmen have to learn to deal with, is speed of the game. Here with basketball players as well, the skill level. Is it the distance? Is that, especially for the guys, is that the biggest adjustment that they have to deal with?
Yeah, you know, Alex Rogers out of Texas, one of the best freshmen in the country, but he came to Texas. We're really excited about him. He learned a valuable lesson last weekend when the race, we wanted the guys to go out fast. They did. The race settled in, and he wasn't ready for that last 1,000 meters. I mean, it's a little growing pains you go through with freshmen, but he learned quickly. I don't think he'll be taken so lightly next time when I said, hey, we're going to go with 1,000 to go, and the group goes, and you don't want to be that guy or that female standing there going, oh, you actually meant we're going now.
Well, is how much of that is the physical, getting used to the extra distance, and how much of it also is a mental thing? Because I always hear about the mental thing being a big part of it.
Yeah, a lot of it is mental. I mean, you've got to have confidence, whether you're playing quarterback or whether you're wide receiver or whether you're running cross country. It's a big mental game, and you've got to have that confidence to understand, hey, you're at Texas, especially last weekend for us when we're going against Texas State. You know, you're running against some people who would like to be at Texas probably, and so they want to beat you, and you've got to understand that. And as a freshman, you might or might not get that point. So he handled it well, and all the freshmen, we had Alex Cruz win on the women's side, and she's a freshman. So
are there significant or at least noticeable differences in the type of runner you're getting based on the kinds of cross-country courses they're running as high school athletes as opposed to being at the University of Texas?
Yeah, I mean, you look at a lot of the courses. Some courses are flat. Some people like to run those flat courses. Some people like to run hilly courses. Some people are strength. Some people are speed. And we kind of look for that blend of strength and speed. And our home course is set up to more of a strength runner. It's got a lot of hills on it, but you know, it's a challenging course. It's a true cross-country course. It might rain. It might be really muddy out that day, and as long as it's not lightning, we're racing.
Some of them are better mudders than others?
Yeah, exactly. Some are better mudders.
All right, Brad Herbster is with us. Coming up, we'll talk about some of those individual cross-country athletes and the impact they hope to make this season on the Texas cross-country team when we continue with Longhorn Weekly right after this. Back here to Longhorn Weekly as we come your way live from Pluckers, the West Campus location. Brad Herbster joined us to talk Texas cross country. Let me ask you about some of your student athletes. I want to start with Connor Hendrickson. Here's a sophomore in cross country. He redshirted in indoor and outdoor track, won the Longhorn Invitational last week. He was named the Big 12 Runner of the Week, and he enters this 2015 season. A little momentum now after he won gold in the 10,000 meter at the Pan Am Junior Championships in Canada this summer. You got to be excited about this guy.
Really excited about Connor. He's right up from South Lake Carroll out of Dallas, and he's done a tremendous job. Last cross country season, he stepped up. He made the top 5 a couple times for us. And we redshirted him because we had so many seniors with Craig Lutz and Ryan Donor, and so we decided to redshirt him and get him ready for juniors. He did well at juniors, made the team, and then went on to Pan Am's to win the gold. And then last week, 3 of them crossed the line together at one time, but it was good. It was a great race, and any one of those 3 could have won, and he came out on top.
Well, and he also sounds like the kind of guy who, like you said, redshirted, that is a little bit wise beyond the classification, so to speak. He's got a little bit of leadership skill in him.
Yeah, we are really fortunate to have Brady Turnbull leading, Jacob Pickle, and Connor Hendrickson. Connor's an engineering major and very intelligent young man, but he also is very athletic, and we're fortunate to have him at Texas.
Now, you mentioned 2 others, teammates of his. Talk about those guys a little bit.
Yeah, Brady is our lone senior on the team, so he's kind of the old man on the team, and he's doing a great job guiding the freshmen and the sophomores. But again, we're fortunate to have Jacob Pickle and Connor, both from South Lake, and both doing a great job for us. And they're good runners, but they're also great people and leading the team well.
Now, your women's team is led by Sandy Raines and Katie Rahala, both all-region and cross-country last year. Raines won the Big 12 outdoor title in the 5,000 meters. She was second-team All-American outdoors and first-team All-American indoors as well. So you've got a couple of big leaders for you there on the women's side.
Yeah, we've got a great group on the women's side. We're really excited to get back to that NCAA meet, but first and foremost, we've got to take care of business during the season. And with Sandy leading the way, she took a minute off her time this year. We were really excited about the progress she made from cross country. She transferred from Arkansas, and she really made huge jumps once cross country was over. Indoor and outdoor, she really was dangerous.
Now, we were talking about this during the break, the course that you're going to be hosting a couple of home events this year at Balcones Country Club, basically, and a great chance to host both meets. Tell folks a little bit about this, because when folks in the greater Austin area think about Balcones Country Club, they think of the golf course.
Right.
And you mentioned that this is a pretty unique situation for you.
Yeah, it's a great situation. Karen Smith out at Balcones, really, she contacted us, and we reached out to her as well, trying to find a home course that really worked. They had 2 golf courses over there. They shut one down, and we used the back 9, I guess you will, on our home course, and it's a great course. It's 3,000 meters around. We've got an outer loop of 3,000 meters and an inner loop of 2,000 meters. It's pretty hilly out there, though. So.
Yeah, because some folks might think of, well, it's a golf course, it must be kind of flat. Not in this area, certainly just bordering on the hill country, and that particular golf course, of course, has some hills in it.
Yeah, especially on the back half of that course. When the gun goes off, you're probably running right into the hilly section in the back section there. At 800 meters, it gets pretty up and down, and it's a great home course. We had a great fan base out there last week. I think there were probably 200, 300 people out there for a really small meet. That's a good number for us. Now,
just to clarify for some folks, the Longhorns won the first home meet against Texas State last week. The men and women both won with perfect scores. The perfect score in cross country, the points awarded to the top 5 finishers on each team. So a cross country perfect score would mean placing 1 through 5. The men were 1 through 7, and the women 1 through 6.
Yeah, we really took up 9 of the 10 spots on the men's side, 8 of the 10 spots on the women's side. So showing up, we didn't run everybody like Sandy and Katie and some of the more experienced runners out there. We wanted to give the younger runners like Alex and Jordan and Megan a shot to get up there, and they did. They really performed well. Alex and Jordan going 1-2, and then Megan was 4th in that race.
When you have a situation like that, and you have the top 6 or 7, or at least the top 5 finishers for the perfect score, how much competition is there? How competitive is it between those 5 or 6 or 7 to not only finish in there and help the team attain the perfect score, but to win it themselves?
Yeah, we have a plan and they execute the plan, but at the end of the day, you'd like to see everybody cross the line, all 10 or 5 or 3 or whatever it is. And sometimes that happens, but usually somebody gets a little excited and said, hey, I'm going to take over. I'm going to get this win. And last week, the guys literally crossed 1, 2, 3. I think they were separated by maybe half a second. So, and they all threw up the horns, which was great to see, and that worked out well. Alex distanced herself early on, probably in the first 800 meters, and just kind of held the lead.
And I know you feel very, very optimistic about your women's team and what they might be able to accomplish this year.
Yeah, I'm excited about the women. Last year we had a really young group. This year we've got a young group as well, but a little more experience. And we have leadership on it with Sandy and Katie, and I'm expecting big things from the women this year.
Brad, thank you for dropping by. Appreciate it.
I appreciate your time.
You bet. Brad Herbster, Texas Cross Country. Coach Strong will rejoin us when we continue with Longhorn Weekly here on the Longhorn Network and the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.